The rules, they will not be asked. There were rules announced. You don't get to say anything personal, ask anything personal, and all of those other kinds of things. We're adults, so we know what that means. And so those will not be able to be asked. So you can ask them after it's over, one-on-one. And so, and we have questions for the incumbent only. And so that's another stack that's over there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go between all three stacks. We won't get to every single one because guess what? Y'all wrote a lot of them. Okay? But we'll do our best. We'll do our best.
What would be your solution for the constant issues the county jail is being involved in?
That's a hot one.
This is how it's written. What would be your solution for the constant issues at the county jail involving the county jail?
That question actually came out of the vote stack. There's a similar question for Warren, but that one came out of the vote stack.
The question was, what will we do about the way the county jail is? Like Mr. Shepard said, the county jail is old. I'll testify to that. But I can honestly say that since the new county commission has come in, a lot of people don't know this, but the county commission is actually and is responsible for the structure itself. And since Judge Nunn has been in office and the county commission has been in office, they have been fixing stuff day in and day out. It's dilapidated. So my hat's off to them. They're doing what they're supposed to do as far as fixing it. They're actually fixing the roof as we speak. Thousands of dollars, guys. That's not a new building, so it's taking a lot of money to fix that building. I can honestly say there's not a work order that we turn in that the county commission don't pay attention to. And as far as the safety and stuff goes in the jail, we have yet to have a SORNA case, which is a rape case. We have yet to have one of those reported since I've been sheriff. We have made it through the pandemic, which is rare. You can check with the other sheriff's departments around that not only have we not had a death as far as COVID goes and the sanitation of the jail, we have not even had a single hospitalization due to COVID. Guys, we have 150 inmates out there, and they're housed side by side. A lot of people say the jail is overcrowded. That's misinformation. We know it's political time, so a lot of information is being spewed out there that is not the facts. We have a bed space for over 300 inmates. We have 149 to 150 inmates in our jail right now, so our jail is not overcrowded. As far as the cleanliness goes, the county commission, I wish some of them were here, they'll speak to it. Guys, they spend tens of thousands of dollars a year on products to clean that jail. The guards don't clean the jail, the inmates clean the jail. So, and it is an old building. When we took office, there was windows that were broken out of the jail, there was stuff that needed to be fixed. And I'm not saying it just because my probate judge is here. Guys, they are paying attention to that. They are paying attention. We just got a $400,000 grant. We're actually looking into building COVID cells. And that money goes to the county commission. So when we say COVID cells, it's cells that we could update and actually has a ventilation system. Guys, we have video visitation out there. Inmates can visit their family anytime they want to visit. Anytime, just pick up the phone and call. We also have what they call a chirper. They can text. So this misinformation is going out where attorneys can't get a hold of their clients. It's political season, guys. They can call their attorney anytime they want. If they know the number, pick up it and dial it or either text it.
Well, since I'm not currently the sheriff just answered the question. But what I would do is, upon taking office, is to do a full assessment of the jail. To go in and see what some of our strengths and weaknesses are at the jail, and then address those issues that we may have.
Specifically for Sheriff Granthum. Currently, bail bondsmen are forced to use the bathroom outside of the jail due to the long wait time and not being allowed to enter. Are you aware of this, and what are your plans to change this? And have you hired a nurse or counselor for the mentally ill residents of the jail?
The first question was about bail bondsmen using the restroom in the jail. I know where that question came from. But anyway, guys, we're under COVID lockdown right now. And we do have specific bathrooms that's in a waiting area where people can go in and use the restroom once you're buzzed in. My thing is, I'm not trying to be smart and answer this question or not, but we're not even processing misdemeanor inmates inside the county jail. They're processed in the Sally Port. Guys, we have got to keep these people safe. They're only in jail for an alleged crime. They have not been, they still have to be treated as human beings, and it's the sheriff's responsibility to make sure these inmates are safe. So that is part of the protocol. We don't even have, our church services are led by inmates. When an inmate goes to court, he has to come back to jail. He's quarantined for 14 days. It's been like that for the last 3 years. So as far as public using access to different facilities and stuff in the jail, it's not going to happen until we release the mandates. I can only imagine what you guys would say if we had an inmate die because we wasn't following protocol because somebody had to use the restroom. If you know you got to use the restroom, in my opinion, I'm not being smart, but you may want to use it before you get to the county jail. I mean, it's just that simple, because we have got to protect our people. That's my job, and I'm going to protect the inmates to the fullest. And what's the second part of it?
Are you aware of what is going to change? The second question would be, have you hired a nurse and or a counselor?
Yeah, I don't have the authority to hire a counselor. All that has to go through. Now, we do have mental health. And let me tell you, the county commission has a contract. And the sheriff, if you guys don't know this, is not allowed to get in any kind of contracts whatsoever. The sheriff cannot sign a contract. But the county commission, and I'm not saying just because Judge Nunn is here, they have stepped up, and we now, and since day one, basically, we now have rural health. The same doctors that you guys go and see come to the jail. So they handle that. And they also, that's the same group that offers mental health. Now, if the doctor deems necessary today to go to Cahaba Mental Health, we get an order from the judge, and we take the inmates to Cahaba Mental Health. So they do have treatment. As far as the nurse goes, Miss Russell down at Human Resources, that job has been posted for 1.5 years to 2 years. The county commission has just raised the pay, and hopefully, she told us last week that she has 1 or 2 prospects. So hopefully we do have a nurse in the county jail. But we have telemedicine also, so the doctors actually, we have peel call, and we also have a doctor visit that comes through there at the minimum once or twice a week. And if they sign up for sick call, they go. If it's an emergency, we take them to the emergency room.
I gave a few more seconds because that was a card that had 2 questions on it. So I'm going to go back over the rules. We're going to be adults. We're going to listen. We're going to give our questions. We're going to listen to the answers. We're not going to do anything else beyond that. Y'all have been coming to us since 1998, and you know how we are. And so that's what we're going to do. And that's how we're going to do it.
I think this would be for both candidates. What would be your solution of the decreasing murders include the county because we are a whole? What would be your solution of decreasing 22 murders in your county and 6 murders include the county?
Okay. In my opinion, the sheriff department, Dallas County is a unique county. If something happens out in the county area, it affects the city area. If something happens in the city, it affects the county, because everybody pretty much knows everybody or knows somebody all over the county. My solution would be working together with the police department, sharing information. I even thought about creating a metro, well not a metro, but a violent crimes task force, where you have detectives with the city, investigators with the county, working together on a lot of our murders. Because if you look around, we don't have the resources that some of the other areas have. We don't have some of the resources that Montgomery or Birmingham or Mobile or your biggest cities have. So it's very important that we work together with sharing information. I think that would be a good idea, is to create a task force, a violent crimes task force, that when we have a violent crime, you have entities from both agencies working on that particular incident, sharing information, working together, even have partners from the DA's office, or ADA assigned to this task force, so they can be on the scene as well if possible. So I think that would be a good idea for our area.
And like I said earlier, I'm not bashing the previous sheriff, but like I said, you never saw a deputy car inside the city limits until these past 4 years. There are actually 3 task forces already in Dallas County. Mr. Jackson has a task force at his office that works violent crime, not just in Selma and Dallas County, but they work all over the place, all in his district. We have a state task force, which is collaboration of the county and the city officers already working together, working crime together. And we have the ATF task force, which involves, like I said, the ATF full-time agent, and agents from Mobile come up or Montgomery come up and assist in major crimes. Now, why is the ATF important? Why do I say that? Most of our gun cases and our killings involve guns. That's why I was real instrumental and bent over backwards and begged, went down to Mobile, begged and begged, even talked to our commission looking for an office space for an ATF agent, because it's very, very important that we had the collaboration with them so we can try these cases federally. Nothing against the state system whatsoever, but when you indict somebody in the state system, it could be 4 or 5 years before you go to court. If you take these gun cases, working in collaboration with these other task force, you are going to court within 30 days. We have a machine now, it's called an Ivan machine. We can take a shell casing from a crime scene, and this is working with task force that we already have developed. The city brings their shell casings over here. We have people as far as, Montgomery's full. We have one of the few in the state. There's very few of them in the state. It costs the sheriff's office $25,000 a year to have that machine, and we share that in collaborations with other departments, and it's working. So there is a relationship there that has never been there before, and there are already a task force on the ground that are working, and it's actually working. And I appreciate their help, because like Mr. Shepard said, guys, we don't have all the equipment, we don't have all the tools, but the state may have something we don't have, the city may have something I don't have, or I may have something they don't have, and we're working together, and it's actually solving the cases. Thank you.
Okay, and this question will be for both candidates. This year, the Alabama legislature passed a permitless carry, a bill which says that non-restricted persons may carry concealed or in an auto without a permit requirement while in the state. The governor signed it into law. Can you both give your thoughts on how this will affect your job?
Yeah, well, excuse me. What a lot of people don't know, you never had to have a permit in Dallas County or the state of Alabama to carry a gun. We're an open carry state, and people are misinformed on that. Now, what does open carry mean? It means you can walk right down Broad Street with the gun on your hip, just like me. So this permit thing has been blown way out of proportion. Now, there's 2 elements to that permit. Number 1, of course, is the safety of the citizens. I'm all for a permit right now, and I'll tell you why. Gun crime is outrageous, not only in Dallas County, in the city of Selma, but in the United States as a whole. I'm a firm believer in the Second Amendment. It gives you the right to possess a firearm. Guys, some of these firearms we're seeing, they need to be over in Iraq somewhere. They don't need to be on the streets of city of Selma and in Dallas County. I mean, it's as simple as that. And we have a bunch of gun fanatics around here that think that, I guess it's their manhood, that they can show that they have a gun. Guys, we have to control what guns we put on the street. So the permit, there's another factor to it, and everybody said it was going to affect the financial stuff of the sheriff's department. Guys, we get $20 for a permit. All right, there was never a play that it was going to hurt the finances of the sheriff's office. The representatives, like Mr. Chestnut and stuff, he called and worked with me day in and day out on that, asking questions, giving information and stuff. They set aside money if it hurts our county to keep from us having to go to the county commission, which does our budget, and having to draw funds from another part of the budget. They are subsidizing the money we're going to lose. So a lot of people were misrepresenting the public, saying the sheriffs want it because it's their slush fund. Guys, that money is earmarked. You cannot just go buy anything with it. So we had a bunch of people around here just saying, oh, it's all about money, it's all about money. Guys, we knew the whole time this was coming, and they've been trying to get the permit for the last 7 or 8 years. We knew the whole time it was coming that our representative was working tirelessly trying to make sure that that money was going to be subsidized so nothing would be taken from another budget line.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, to answer that question, with me it's quite simple. The law was passed, and that's the law of the land, and as the sheriff, we have to uphold what the law is. Whether we agree or disagree, we have to uphold the laws of the land. That law was passed and it will take effect in January of 23. And as the sheriff, we will uphold that law.
Thank you. Again, this is for both candidates. What would you do in 2023 to ensure that the sheriff's department is operating at its best? Final question.
Guys, I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. We're human. We're all sinners in here. One thing that we actually instilled, and again, I have to take my hat off to the commission, we went to them and they gave us more line items as far as the budget goes, as far as education goes. Guys, we have got to get our officers educated. The law changes day in and day out. So you have to be educated. Before that, we had very little education. A lot of people don't know this. As a city officer, you have to have 12 continuing education hours a year to keep your certification. You know what a county officer has to do?
What?
You're going to laugh when I tell you this. All he has to do is qualify with his weapon. There's no requirement. There is not a single requirement for a deputy to keep his certification. Guys, that's outrageous. That's absolutely crazy. And I'm in the Sheriff's Association. I'm actually the Vice President of the Peace Officers Association. I'm working on changing that. There's no reason for that. That's the good old boy stuff. That stuff was back in the 50s and 60s when the sheriff rode a horse down these dirt roads. Guys, that stuff is out the window. There's no reason why you can't put mandates on these officers to make sure they have education. So that's one of my big things. I'm huge on education. If you got to know your job to do your job. And a lot of our officers, yeah, we're getting trained. They go to the academy. They have so many hours. But you can look at a lot of them. They don't keep their education up. They don't keep their bodies up. So, I mean, it's all what you want to make of yourself. So I'm big on education as far as getting our officers educated and make sure they have the proper tools and working with a commission to get a budget that we can fund it. Thank you.
Well, in 2023, one thing that I would like to see is the sheriff's department, not saying that it's not, but a better, stronger community relationship. Our sheriff's department, our law enforcement officers, our community, we all need to work together as one. When we come together and work together, we will solve our issues. When we come together and work together, we will resolve a lot of our issues. I too believe that training is very important. Better training, better trust from your community. When you have the training that our officers need, conflict resolution training, de-escalation training, training on how to carry ourselves in court, how to testify. Those are some of the things that I would like to see done in 2023 as the next sheriff of Dallas County.
I I must retract that last statement. We usually have an individual that works our technology for us, and we're by ourselves tonight, so we're trying to monitor a lot of things at one time. We did have a member from the audience that had a question. It was in on time, so we're going to afford her the opportunity to come on up. Portia, are you available?
All our folks are at baseball games, y'all. It's baseball game night, so there we go. And she's the owner of this fine establishment. So come on up.
Thank you all for definitely running. I have a question because I'm a business owner in this district, and the way that our downtown area is perceived is without order. We must get these violent people off the streets. They're killing, they're robbing, they're stealing, and it affects the economics of our city. When we have tour buses that come in and the people are getting off the tour buses and they're afraid. You have people that are mentally insane that are walking up and down the street. They're yelling at our tourists that are coming to the city. Secondly, I'm not overly concerned with the status of the jails. They're there for a reason. They were not at the library reading books. That's why they're there. We need to be concerned with the living, those people that are in the homes, that are paying the taxes, that are running the business to keep this city moving. My question is, what are you going to do to get the violent criminals off the street immediately? No programs, no dialogue. We want to know, as a community, how are you going to remove the people that have violated the community ethically, morally, and consciously? Instantly. And I know it's a process. When I say instant, I mean actionable. What is going to happen to the people that are walking around right now that are committing the exact same crime? When we look at people that you arrest in your cars, they're the same people. They're the exact same people. So we don't necessarily need another program. What we need is these people off the streets. And I want to know, what actionable steps are you going to take to get them off the streets so that we can run our businesses, go to work, and lead our families?
Amen. Thank you.
Amen, sister. I agree with you 110%. I'm glad somebody stood up and had enough courage to speak the truth. Guys, a lot of people say, I'm sorry I'm standing up. I get excited about this one. A lot of people say that I'm being too tough on crime, which is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We had 22 murders, like Mr. Shepard said, in the city of Selma. Our kids' blood are flowing in the street. We are going to continue to pull the cars over. And Ms. Portia, and like I said earlier, one thing that the sheriff's office did, and along with the city, we sent 57. I'm not proud to say this. I'm proud we got them off the street, but it hurts my heart that we had that many in our community that we had to send off to federal prison in 1 year. Guys, there's 52 weeks in a year. We sent 57 to the federal penitentiary in 1 year. That's absolutely ridiculous. But you know, we're not going to stop. I don't care who bashes me, says I'm being too hard on crime or what have you, I'm pulling too many cars over. Guys, if you commit a crime, sooner or later you're going to be in a car. That's your mode of transportation. Traffic stops work. Pick up the newspaper tonight or in the morning, and I promise you, you pick up 5 newspapers, they're going to tell you about a traffic stop that led to a bust of guns or a ton of dope. It's that simple. It's not, guys, it's not science. You got to be tough on crime. And to be tough on crime, you can't be afraid to make those hard decisions. And I'm not afraid. I'm not in anybody's pocket. I don't answer to anybody except the people that elected me. And I'm going to continue to do that. And we're going to continue to be tough on crime. And we're going to continue to fill that jail up. It's your choice if you go to the jail. And like Ms. Portia said, those people have not been convicted in jail. They're human beings. They're somebody's child. You have to treat them with respect. But if that jail is so bad, like some of this misrepresentation going around here, why do the same ones keep coming back day in and day out? I'm sorry, guys.
Well, Sheriff, I guess I'll stand up too. You know, maybe that's been the problem because I've been sitting down. You know, there's this misconception going around town that Donald Shepard is going to be soft on crime. Donald Shepard been putting folks in jail half of his life. Been in law enforcement since I was 21 years old, and I've been putting folks in jail. None of us likes to see what we're seeing in our community. All of us are being affected by this crime.
Say it.
Speeches after speeches after speeches. It's campaign season. Yeah, people gonna say this, people gonna say that. You know, what do I do every day? I stop cars. I'm a state trooper. But it takes more than just stopping cars. We have to get to the root of the problem. Where are the guns coming from? Where are the drugs coming from? How are they getting into our communities? We have to sit down with our, because you're right. Crime, you know what bothers me the most? What bothers me when I go somewhere and when I say I live in Selma, people say, "Oh, Selma, y'all got problems over there." No, we don't. Selma is a beautiful place. Selma is a lovely place. We don't have problems. We just have issues that truly need to be addressed. And everybody has to come to the table to address those issues. An immediate response, working together. You have the police department, you have the sheriff department, but we also have to reach out to our state and federal partners. If we don't have enough help around here, let's ask our neighboring counties, hey, how can y'all assist us in helping us get our crime problem down? Can y'all send us some officers over here to help us? The sheriff can deputize folks. He can do that. We have to come together as a community. You know, one thing we have to stop doing is not taking accountability. We have to start as a community telling the police, telling law enforcement officers what's going on in our community. We have to start coming forward and not being afraid to tell what's happening in our communities. Then, at working together, that's how we can stop this violence and crime in our community together.